Carolyn, and I'm here with Aaron, and we are thrilled to have Rebel Good here with us tonight. He does the Court of Appeals column in Tennis Magazine, has officiated tennis for close to 30 years, and has worked more than 20 U.S. Open events, 2 Olympics, and numerous Davis Cups and Fed Cup events. He also does the Stump the Ump section for Western Wake Tennis Association. So, Rebel, we so appreciate you being here tonight.
So an opponent called the ball out and then said it was actually in. So let's replay the point. Do you replay the point or whose point is that? And this has happened to me a lot, so I can't wait for this answer.
This is black letter law, you might say, in the code in an unofficiated match, which is, of course, what you're talking about. And that is if a player reverses a call from out to good, they lose the point.
That's what I thought.
It's not replayed.
See? Yeah.
That just happened to one of our friends. Yeah, it just happened to one of our friends. And she's like, I thought it was my point. And I was like, it is your point. But she said the other girl seemed so confident that you play it as a let, that you replay the point, that she just was like, okay. So I think you made a really good point, Rebel.
We'll get into this a little more with some of your other questions, I'm sure. But one of the things as officials is you want to avoid replaying points as much as possible. And I know I know I've told you that courtesy is a bedrock of, recreational tennis, but it can be carried to an extreme where you're just constantly replaying points when there's no necessity to replay the points.
Yeah.
The calling a ball out and then correcting it to good and then getting to replay the point is just not a good procedure. It allows someone to basically call every close ball out and then reverse their call and then get to play the point over again.
Right.
When you've already hit a good shot.
Let me ask
a really
a specific
good point.
question. Yeah. Let me ask a specific situation where this happened to me, and it was a doubles match. So I was the receiver and my opponent hit a serve and I called it out because I thought it was going to be out, and then I saw it in and I said no, and I reversed it and I said, that's your point. And my partner said, no, we replay it. And I said, but I've already conceded the point to them. I called it wrong. And she said, no, we play. And she stuck her foot down and everyone just went, okay, we'll play it over, But I felt like that was clearly their point.
Stick to your guns.
See? I was willing to stick to my guns, but my partner stuck to hers even more. And so at that point, we just let it go. And the opponents did as well. So.
Aaron, do you want to do the next one too?
I'm going to ask the second one.
Yeah, because I think that happened to you. This happened to you too.
This has happened to me, specifically. So when we're playing a match, a bat actually swooped down as I was getting ready to hit the ball and missed it. Can you claim a batlet or any other? Like we've also had someone say a bee got in my way, or can you call a let on a bat or a bee?
You can try.
I had a feeling this was good.
and what I'm saying here is I'm sorry. I don't want to sound pedantic on this, but people use the term let as though a let is a thing, and it isn't. A let is a call. Let is a call that says, I've been hindered. And so that the bottom of that is the hindrance.
Right.
So if a bat swoops down and you stop play and call let, you're telling your opponent, I was hindered by that bat. Your opponent goes, what bat?
Right.
I didn't see a bat. What bee?
Mm-hmm.
What gnat?
Yeah.
Then you're making a request to replay the point. You're not asking that a point be given to you. You're making a request to replay a point. Most people in recreational tennis will give you the benefit of the doubt the first time.
Right.
But, if the bat hit you, there's no question there. But then the question there's a broad gray area there of how close does the bat have to come to you to actually hinder you, or do you just see a bat flitting over the top of the court and you go, ooh,
right?
It's
common sense.
There's a bottom line here, which basically is things that happen off the court, so to speak, can't hinder you. So if a car drives right beside your court and backfires loudly, do cars even backfire anymore? Anyway, or some Yahoo in the car screams at it.
Yeah, and we have fire trucks going by at
that go down the road. Yeah.
Okay, so the fire truck comes screaming by you with this siren blaring, and you stop play and say, let. Your opponent might say, why?
Didn't bother me. Yeah.
It's something off the court. The same as, when we have officiated matches and we have spectators, a spectator yelling out during a point is not a reason for you don't get to replay the point because they yelled. Even if they're yelling miss it while you're in the middle of your backswing for an overhead.
That's a really good point. We have to remember that, Carolyn.
If it's a spectator doing it, there's nothing. If the person on the court's doing it, that's different.
Well, that's a different thing, and I think we'll get to that in a minute. But but once again, we're coming down to every time you're talking about saying the word let, with the exception of a service let, which is something entirely different. It always has to do with a hindrance. And so the first question is who was hindered and how? So
smart. Yeah, that makes sense.
And that there's degrees. Sure. That's interesting too. Like a bat that hits you is different than a bat in the air.
Right. And there are also degrees of whether a hindrance is created by an opponent where you're making a decision whether it's intentional or unintentional, or whether it's something apart from you and your opponent.
Right.
And of course, a bottom line there also is you can't hinder yourself.
Right.
Okay.
And we'll get to that later too.
Yeah. This is great.
I think that's one of the
questions.
This. Yeah. I know. You want to take the next one, Carolyn?
Sure. And this is actually in the rules, but this has happened a number of times, and no one on the court seems to know the answer to this unless it's happened to them before. And so I hit a ball with crazy spin, so it landed in my opponent's court, then bounced back over into my court. Is that my point?
Well, I guess the first thing I'm going to do is ask you a question in return, which is, did anybody touch the ball? Doesn't sound like they did.
No one touched it.
Right. And did it bounce in your court?
Yes.
Came back, right?
Yeah, it came back and bounced.
Okay. So I'm just going to lead you through this. You hit a shot. It landed in the proper court.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. It bounced. It bounced in the proper court, and then it bounced a second time without your opponent touching it. Does that describe a winner?
Yes.
Yeah. But I think the question is because it comes back to you, right, Carolyn?
So what?
So she hit a winner, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, it's like I'm thinking about it.
Way to go.
You can see me drawing a circle right now as I'm like, yeah, that's right.
Think about that. Great cross court topspin backhand that you hit, that whistled by your opponent. They never got a racket on it, and it bounced a second time. That which ended the point. That was a winner, right? Well, this shot of yours that crazy bounced back and landed in your court, bouncing for a second time without being touched. That's a winner.
I like it.
Clean That's winner. What I said. It's a clean winner. That's right.
Sure. Now, there are other permutations from this, which are your opponent can lean over the net and hit that ball before it bounces a second time, so long as they don't touch the net.
Right.
Okay.
Or touch your court. And in fact, the absolute best shot for them to hit is to lean over and hit it backwards into the net.
Right.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that
Couldn't
makes
get
it
to it at all.
impossible.
Yeah.
And that would be their point. That's
Yeah, so
interesting. I've
Yeah.
never
So the
seen that
one in a million
happen.
times yeah. So the one in a million times
Yeah.
that shot actually happens, which it
And
actually has
then
happened to me once, so
yeah.
it may never happen
It
again.
happened to me too.
Now the
So
other thing is your opponent can run around the net and
Yeah, isn't that
to
crazy?
make a play. Say that
Yeah.
ball is off on the sideline. The opponent can run around the net to play it, so long as they don't touch the net or they don't touch your court.
that's interesting
And when
Right.
I
that
say
they can
your
go
court,
around
I'm
the
talking
net.
about the line inside the line, so they can
Yeah.
go around the net.
Yeah.
So
I see people do that they're going down the line, but they really end up going around the pole of
hitting a
the net
shot around the
pole.
ball. Yes.
Yeah. Which logically you would think that's out of bounds, but I know that's a legal shot and I see it happen all
Of
the
course it
time.
is.
And it's actually
Yeah.
very, obviously it's extremely hard to defend against because you don't expect it to happen, but
Yeah.
it's a great shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Carolyn, do you want
Okay.
the next one?
Oh, yes. This actually happened. So I wanted to hear.
Let me just
Oh,
say
go ahead.
one thing with regard to your question about ball spinning back over the net. That some variation to that is the most popular question that comes to my column.
Really?
I
So
only answer a very few questions in the course of a year in the magazine, but I get hundreds of questions a year, and
On that.
that one subject comprises the most of them.
Yeah.
yeah, we need to tell people before
we
they
should
start
know
tennis. Like we should know this rule.
Yes.
Like 2 5s.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the.
Yeah. Or we should just keep your column in our bag. We don't even have to have the whole rule book. We'll just keep your column in the bag and then we can take it out when that happens.
Yeah, or pass it out to people when they start playing. Here's a couple
There you
weird
go.
situations that actually happen. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this one actually happened to me where my opponent hit a shot in doubles and my partner said, "Great shot." But I was able to run and hit it back, and the opponent played it and hit it in the net. And my question was, did they win the point because my partner said great shot, or did they lose the chance to claim the point when they actually played the ball and hit it into the net?
Okay. Once again, we're talking about a hindrance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, first thing is in doubles, you are not supposed to be. You can speak when the ball is coming toward you. You can talk to your partner, get back or whatever it is. You're not supposed to be talking when the ball is going toward your opponent. Now, in this situation, we haven't violated anything with this because the ball is coming toward you. You've yelled out, your partner's yelled, "Great shot," but then you're able to get a racket on it. Good for you. You've hit it back. What did your opponents do? They played a shot.
They played it.
Okay. Were your opponents hindered?
Maybe, but they didn't say anything. They actually played it.
One of the bedrocks of the hindrance in the code is, in order to claim a hindrance, you must stop play.
Okay.
Right.
And then there's another part where we say you don't get 2 chances. So if your partner yelled out "great shot" and you got to it and hit it back, and your opponent simply caught the shot and went, "That's our point," you would lose. It was an intentional. The yelling "great shot" was an intentional act. So you would lose the point because it was an intentional hindrance.
I'm giggling because
now,
I feel like half my game is a hindrance. Like everything that happens to me on the court is a hindrance only because of my skill level. That's why I'm giggling about all this.